Good evening, Board of Directors, Superintendent Lario, staff, and guests. Thank you for joining us for this evening for our February regular meeting. It is 5:45 p.m. I now call this meeting to order. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have our agenda today in front of us. Do we have any amendments or questions? If none, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented?
I move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Do I have a second?
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt the agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries with a 5-0 vote. We now have an agenda. At this time, I would like to invite our schools to present their recognition. We will begin with Lincoln Elementary.
Thank you for having us here tonight. Oh, thank you. Okay, we feel very honored to be here tonight and present some students and staff members. I'm going to start with Kilian Salazar Cardenas. He's unable to make it, but Kilian is a student whose character brings lots of joy to the classroom environment. Kilian has improved tremendously throughout the year. He has perfect attendance and is dedicated to his academics and class participation, and he makes the time to help classmates with their academics as well. We're very proud of him, and his excitement for creating is infectious and inspires others. I also want to have Mallory come up. Mallory always strives to do her best in everything she does and inspires others to do the same. She's a great friend who makes people feel welcomed and a part of our classroom community, says Ms. Frasco. Mallory has great attendance and is a bright student who shows her leadership skills by always helping classmates, students outside of the class, and the teacher. Congratulations. I also want to invite Esteban Venegas Pantoja. Esteban consistently goes above and beyond, inspiring others around him. He is a very responsible and respectful student who can be counted on to make good decisions for himself and for others. Esteban has great attendance, and he is a great role model for his peers. In class, Esteban gives his best effort no matter the subject. He works really well with peers and serves as the treasurer for student council. Esteban is a dependable student who is a great friend.
Yeah.
I'm also going to invite Axel Bogarin Mariscal to the front. Axel is an exceptional leader whose character truly deserves to be celebrated. He is kind to everyone, quick to help others, and consistently responsible. He advocates for himself and for his peers with maturity and respect. He leads by example, inspires those around him to do better, and positively impacts our school community every day. He is not only an outstanding student, but also an incredible human being. His teacher, Ms. Marquez, shares that she is very honored to have him as a student. Axel is a good role model. He's very respectful and responsible. Axel serves as our school's student council's vice president, and he's a great role model to his peers and to other students. Okay, I'm also going to invite Claudia Mitchell to the front. Claudia is an invaluable member at our Lincoln community. As our reading specialist, she plays an important role in the growth of our students' reading. She helps work with our educational assistants in creating, supervising, and monitoring reading intervention groups. She's a great role model of implementation of strategies that help students grow in their reading skills by managing her own one-on-one interventions with students, supporting small groups, and connecting with teachers in implementation of various strategies. Claudia is a key participant in district-wide testing that monitors students' reading progress. She also presents professional development to staff with trainings that are relevant and impactful. Over summer, Claudia also helps us with our Kinder Jumpstart program in transitioning our incoming kindergartners. And in addition to everything Claudia has done, she's a great colleague to all. Her willingness and disposition to collaborate with everyone makes everyone feel supported and does not go unnoticed. Thank you for all your ardent work and dedication. It makes a difference that creates waves of positive impact. Our last recognition goes to Gladys Santos. She's an educational assistant that could not be here, but we want to share that she's a dedicated member of our team for many years and has developed a deep understanding of our school community. Her experience, leadership, and positive perspective strengthen our ability to support students and to ensure effective systems for supervision. She plays an active role on the leadership team, where her insights and contributions consistently add value to our discussions and decision-making. She is always willing to step in and support teachers, instructional assistants, and most importantly, our students. Her work during reading interventions is truly exceptional. She approaches every session with preparation, care, and high expectations, making a meaningful impact on student growth and confidence. Gladys is committed to continuous learning and professional growth. She takes pride in her work and is consistently striving for excellence in all that she does. Her work ethic, positive attitude, and dedication of students serves as a model for others and a reflection of the very best of our school community. So thank you, everybody. Yeah, can we just do my thing? Sorry. Okay, ready? 1, 2. There you go. Good job. 1, 2, 3.
Next, we would like to invite French Prairie Middle School up for further recognitions.
All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Aaron Kearns. I'm the principal at French Prairie Middle School. It's a pleasure to be here this evening to be able to honor some of our staff and students that really make our school an exceptional place to learn. So first off, we're going to recognize Hema. Hema Punso, who I don't believe was able to make it this evening, but Hema is an integral part of our team. She is our homeschool contact. She moved to the United States when she was 10 years old and uses her experience coming to the United States from Mexico to really leverage her, or she leverages her experience to build relationships and do her work to the highest level. She started working in education in 1989 in a migrant summer school program and has since worked in a variety of different positions in education, most recently for French Prairie Middle School as our homeschool contact. Hema loves to bake and spending time with her 4-year-old daughter. As an office mate of mine, she's always reliable, available, and supportive. She's creative in coming up with solutions on how to support our French Prairie community, and we definitely couldn't do what we do and support students without her. So thank you, Hema. All right, the next person is here. Beatrice, could you please come up? Beatriz Ramirez Alarcon. So how long is the board meeting? Because I'll take all the time. Beatrice works in our office as an assistant secretary. She's been at French Prairie since 2019 and became an assistant secretary in 2021. Some of the things that she does to balance her life at work and at home are gardening, cooking, home workouts, dancing, time with her 2-year-old granddaughter, and taking on challenges. Now, taking on challenges as a hobby is a pretty great trait. It's wonderful to have her at French Prairie. She is focused in on doing her work and doing it to the highest quality possible, but is also jumping in and helping whenever she is needed, wherever she is needed. She has a very positive attitude. She is caring, and she's a great listener, and she's persistent, and she definitely makes the difficult job of overseeing attendance and managing office tasks look easy. She works hard, she works smart, and she is an absolutely valuable partner to have in the office, and I can't thank her enough. So thank you, Beatrice. Okay, Ruby Vasquez, come on up. So I had a brief moment years ago where I was helping out over at Lincoln Elementary School, and I remember Ruby from working at Lincoln, and when I came over to French Prairie as an administrator, I was like, I know this person, and I had like these really like strongly like positive like associations. I'm like, I know she's somebody great, and I have since learned that she is absolutely wonderful. She has been working at French Prairie as a math teacher since 2023. So she was teaching 5th grade at Lincoln, but she is from Woodburn. She's one of our own, which is fantastic. And she started in education, is volunteering at Washington Elementary School right after high school. She is super involved in the community. She is a volleyball coach. She's passionate about volleyball and helping other students. She loves coaching. She loves watching students grow and to learn and to develop. I'll say that as a math teacher, she has been a super important partner in our literacy development, and she has been teaching a reading intervention. And she's going to be staying after and helping students after school with math as well. She's part of our advisory team, and you know, the few years that she's been at French Prairie, she has become just a positive force of like really great energy to carry us through really hard times. And she's solution focused and keeping us on track towards doing better and greater things as we move into the next school year. So thank you, Ruby. All right, Mr. B, Ken B, please come up. So Ken and I started teaching at French Prairie the same year. So I walk in my first day at French Prairie. He walked in. Now, he had done a student teaching prior, but we were both coming in as teachers new to French Prairie that same year. And I remember feeling like I don't quite have my stuff together because I'm not like Ken, right? I'm like he knows what he's doing. He seems like he's really well put together. It's both of our first year, so I was trying to really compare myself to Mr. B as a measure of greatness. Mr. B is a fantastic teacher. He's been a rock for our building. He's been doing science and health, and this year he's been doing math. He is a great team player. He collaborates with his science team and his health team. He's a leader in the building, and he's been working on different committees, including PBIS. He loves working in this community. He was an immigrant that grew up in a similar community, and he feels at home here. As I said, he has great relationships with our students and our staff. In 2015, he started our Smile Club. So Smile Club is our like after-school science club, and he's been teaching that club ever since. Yeah, without break. So he's been doing great work during school and after school. Great partner for our staff and for our students and our families. Again, another really positive force, somebody I can go to get a level-headed opinion on very emotional topics. and makes the school operate and run well, makes learning fun and engaging, and just a stand-up stellar human being. So thank you to our staff. We're going to move on to some students here. All right. Is Sophia here? Sophia, why don't you come up here? Come on, let's get up here. Sophia Alvarez, everybody. So Sophia is a 6th grade student at French Prairie. Sir, where's the best place? Yeah, right here. Right there, there we go. Her favorite classes at French Prairie are math and social studies. And her hobbies, she likes to listen to music. She likes sketching, also share that same interest and hobby. So she is fantastic. She is very, very kind. She is very, very patient, and she's a very hard worker. So she's a model student. She is a great example to others. Her teachers say that she works really hard on her grades, and that shows. She's very kind and respectful. She's always helping her peers and works well with others. So thank you, Sophia, for all you do for French Prairie. All right. And then we have Mr. William Shee. William, will you please come up? All right. If you are around French Prairie, you might wonder if William works at French Prairie. He is there quite frequently, helping us out, volunteering his time, and doing many things just to make the school a better place. His favorite classes are leadership, math, and language arts. He loves the school environment at French Prairie. He likes to read. His teachers say that he's an extremely respectful student. He helps his classmates when they are struggling and works very hard in school. William exhibits excellent Spartan manners. Before, during, and after school, he engages with staff and helps with concessions during home games. On several occasions, William has been observed sweeping up spilled popcorn after school during games. William is a team player. Thanks, William. All right. And Giancarlo, are you here? Can you make it tonight? You want to come on up, sir? Yep. Everybody, let's hear it for Mr. Giancarlo Diaz Quevedo. Giancarlo is a student who, in my first year here at French Prairie, I'm just very happy to get to meet him and to be able to spend a year of time with him before he moves on to high school. He is a very, very kind person and a great kid. His favorite class is math. He likes reading. He likes being with his cousins and playing video games. I also like playing video games, so we were bonding over that a little bit today about playing some Mario games. His teachers say that Giancarlo is kind and respectful, that he consistently treats others with consideration and compassion. He's always willing to lend a helping hand, even when others are not. And he has an amazing work ethic. He is dependable and thoughtful member of our French Prairie school community. He is an incredible student and liked by his peers. He is super kind and always works hard. Thanks, Giancarlo. Appreciate all you do.
We're gonna have the students in front. So you can come over here. We're gonna have the students in front.
At this time, we would like to invite our staff from the migrant program to do their recognition. How are you?
Have the staff first come up that's gonna recognize, and then you can call your.
Yeah. My name is Nadia McLeod, and I'm the migrant coordinator for the school district. And
My name is Diana Tapia, and I'm one of the parent involvement specialists here at the district.
My name is Brenda Bravo, and I'm the migrant graduation specialist for 8th through 12th grade.
well, definitely delighted tonight to be able to have the honor of introduce our students of the year, parent of the year, and youth resilience of the year for the state of Oregon. We took all of those 3 awards. So I want to speak about the youth resilience of the year. When ODE asked me to nominate a student for the Youth Resilience of the Year award, I debated on who to nominate, as all of my out-of-school youth students are deserving of the award for all the difficulties they have had to overcome at such a young age. Kevin is originally from Huehuetenango, Guatemala, and started his participation at FAMU in the literacy classes with Mrs. Veronica Montes, yes. His desire to improve his life was almost palpable. He took classes that fall, winter, and continued to take classes through the spring. Once he was able to go and participate in our partnership with Chemekara in the English Now program, he did so. And he's constantly working on improving himself and trying to obtain his GED. He's always asking for books. Señora Nadia, how could I get more books so that I can actually read? So definitely, he was awarded with that award. And Kevin is definitely somebody very close to my, an inspiration to all his classmates and to me. It's a motivation for us all to continue to do the work that we do. Thank you. Kevin, do you want to come up?
I would do it bilingual. I would do it in English and then in Spanish. Again, my name is Diana Tapia, one of the family engagement specialists in the school district. And it is my honor today to say these words to Mr. Martinez and his family. Mr. Martinez is a hardworking and exceptional father. Since I have known him a little over 3 years, he has done everything possible to be present at all of his children's school events. Despite his daily routine and long work days, he always attends these events with his wife and 3 children. He is always ready to learn new things and put them into practice. One of his biggest wishes in life is for his children to attend university and have a better future than that he didn't have with his wife. Don Antonio is an example of admiration, commitment, and responsibility. Buenas noches a todos. Mi nombre nuevamente es Diana Tapia y soy una de las especialistas en participación familiar del distrito escolar. Es un honor para mí dirigirme hoy al señor Martínez y a su familia. El señor Martínez es un padre trabajador y ejemplar. Desde que lo conozco un poco más de 3 años, ha hecho todo lo posible por estar presente en todos los eventos escolares de sus hijos. A pesar de la rutina de todos los días y de una larga jornada de trabajo, siempre asiste a los eventos con su esposa y 3 hijos. Siempre está listo para aprender nuevas cosas y ponerlo en práctica. Uno de sus anhelos más grandes es que sus hijos asistan a la universidad y tengan un mejor futuro que el de él y su esposa. Don Antonio es un ejemplo de admiración, compromiso y responsabilidad. Si quiere venir para acá.
Buenas noches. Este mensaje va a ser en español, dirigido para los padres y la familia de Eric. Eric tiene un liderazgo natural, apoya a sus compañeros cuando se atrasan en asistencia, habla por ellos y aboga por su existencia. No es sorpresa que cuando necesitamos voluntarios o un embajador para guiar y apoyar a otros estudiantes, siempre pensamos en Eric Sarco Martínez. Am, Ha liderado clubes de más de 80 miembros y motiva a otros estudiantes a involucrarse en actividades y oportunidades. Así es Eric, un líder, un defensor y alguien que eleva a los demás mientras sigue creciendo. Fue muy fácil nominar a Eric cuando me preguntaron si teníamos un estudiante para el estudiante migrante del año y fue muy fácil nominarte, Eric. Y tampoco fue sorpresa que te reconocieron y reconocieron las maravillosa joven que eres, perdón, que nosotros siempre hemos visto en ti. Me llena, me llena de orgullo y emoción ver hoy a Eric aquí acompañado de su apoyo número uno, su familia. Felicidades, Eric. Y tenemos otro.
We have the kids in the picture.
Qué bien. Okay, now I'm gonna have to use that. Okay. The next item of the agenda is public comment. Jenny, did we receive any public comment? So now it would be time for board reports. We will each go around and share how we are moving the district mission. Each board member will have about a minute to share. This is an opportunity for us to use the community engagement worksheet from last month as well. What key messages did you share this past month, or what other community or school opportunities did you engage in? Ryan?
I'll start by saying that I was at the Capitol at the House Chambers for work-related business, and I saw this incredibly respectful, quiet class sitting next to me. I didn't know, and I asked, what school were they from? And they said Heritage Elementary, and I just felt an enormous sense of pride that my kids were sitting, that, you know, Heritage Elementary class was sitting there. They were just incredible, just so well behaved and just wide-eyed and learning, and it was just a special moment. I was glad I got to see that. I also attended the Woodburn High School play Little Women. That was great. Thanks.
Annabelle?
So I attended the school visits from last time, the Slavic Festival, the OPB interview from Think Out Loud over at the Woodburn High School, also the French Prairie Middle School's Site Council, also the same middle school's parent club, and I did help out with a couple concession stands, not as much as William, to be honest.
You didn't
and-
choose popcorn.
But I also had a very pleasant conversation with an elderly man just coming out of Safeway, and pretty much got to share about our dual language program, which was really awesome.
Nice. Rosie?
So I attended the school site visits as well, and the Russian festival, which was very fulfilling and just amazing to see how many people were in attendance. And I hope we continue this tradition with so much involvement. That's just those two events so far this month.
Michael?
I also had the opportunity to attend the Slavic Festival's 30th anniversary, and it was just amazing. I can't believe it's been around longer than I've been alive, and it was the first time I attended. It was great, and I can't wait for the next one. I also just want to give a quick shout out to our winter athletes that competed this month and will wrap up their season in March.
Well, I had the pleasure of attending professional development with Juan. We did pretty much a whole day of professional development, visiting each level and getting an idea of what everybody is doing. We did the Heritage Valor visits, the Slavic Festival, which was amazing. And the kids were so wonderful and wanted to answer questions. And I actually had a fifth grader engage with me. Hey, school board, I want to talk to you about school lunches. So that was very entertaining, and he was very professional. And I also got to go to the Think Out Loud with Amani Perry, which was amazing. And our kids, you would have been so proud because they were just so articulate, and it was just amazing to hear and to watch the interactions. So we should be very proud. Okay, we will now move on to the Office of the Superintendent reports, which include a variety of reports this evening. Before I turn it over to Superintendent Larios, I would like to kindly ask the board to please hold your questions to the end of each presentation. Thank you.
So tonight we're going to be hearing from two of our schools, from French Prairie Middle School and Lincoln Elementary School. This wraps up the 4 elementary school reports and then the second middle school. So I'm hoping the board hears a lot of common themes from the instructional priorities that are being emphasized to data being collected. What you're hearing tonight from Lincoln Elementary School is going to be very similar to what you've heard from Heritage, from Nellie Muir, and from Washington. Likewise, from Valor, from French Prairie tonight, it's going to be similar to what Valor presented. And that's going to speak to the consistency, the collaboration that's happening as we're working together to be one school district rather than a district of schools. So I'm first going to invite up Principal Kearns and Assistant Principal Hoteling from French Prairie Middle School for the French Prairie presentation.
Yep, there you go.
All right, well, good evening to the board and to those attending either in person or virtually. No, I'm very excited to get in front of you for the first time to share specifically about our French Prairie goals and our progress that we've made on those goals. And yeah, we have a lot of exciting things to share about both the progress we've made and things that we have going on to move forward in the future. So we, Mr. Hoteling and I do a lot to really provide leadership in our building and move that good work forward, but we don't do it on our own. It was nice, as you guys saw some of the staff that we recognized tonight, that we have a building full of leaders that come alongside us and to really accomplish great things. We do have a very hardworking leadership team. So the folks that you see up there on the screen are the staff members that we consult with, we counsel with, and that we partner with, and a variety of different leadership roles within the building as they work on our goals about reading and attendance and literacy, as well as other initiatives such as scheduling. Yeah, they're a great team to work with. So I just want to make sure we recognize our leadership team. So here you can see the collection of our data as it applies to our goals. So we are working to increase our proficiency in reading by 4% for every grade level. So what you see up there is the data from the end of year, from the year prior for the students, as far as the percentage of students that scored proficient on their OSAS language arts test. So the 11.8 for 6th and the 12.3 for 7th and 13.2 for 8th. The beginning of the year data, last year, you might know that we used NWEA maps to measure our reading and math scores. And this year we have started using STAR. So this is our STAR data, and this is the percentage of students that, according to STAR, are expected to score proficient on their OSAS test come the spring. So we can see that those numbers are across the board higher than the end of year, and so we do anticipate a lot of growth. We do see growth in our 6th grade and 8th grade. Our 7th grade scored relatively high right off the bat for the beginning of the year data. And so they are a little flat. They're slightly lower for the middle of year data, but we are looking at their instruction and continuing to implement our professional development and refining our practices, and expect to see continued growth even among our 7th graders. The attendance goal. So our last year's data was we had 63% of students that were regular attenders, meaning that they attended 90% or more of their school days. We started this year a little stronger at 66%, but we have since seen some numbers decrease. We've had a lot of illnesses among students. Staff have noted that we had a lot more travel than we usually do around the winter time. But we have been working both as a leadership team and also an attendance team to work on school-wide initiatives to really counteract some of those numbers that have been going down. So our attendance team, for example, is working on something called the Spartan Challenge right now, where we are setting goals for students, and every couple of weeks we just started, so we just have our first round where they get these tickets. And we gave tickets for both achievement in attendance, but also for growth, because we really want to encourage students, regardless of where they are in the attendance spectrum, to really make an effort to come to school as much as they can and to grow their attendance. So this week we'll be meeting with our attendants actually tomorrow morning to do our second round of tickets to get those ready to disperse. And we will be recognizing students who attended 90% or greater over the last 3 weeks, students that made growth over the last 3 weeks, and students that had perfect attendance for the last 3 weeks. So we're really trying to recognize a lot of different students for a lot of different types of attendance achievement. And the last couple of weeks, our regular attendance number has been growing incrementally. So the last couple of weeks, our data is up. And so, in fact, as of today, we're just a little bit higher than we are there. So 59% is indicated there. We're at 60% this week, and we hope to see that number grow a little bit more. We're also working as an attendance team to starting with our attendance team tomorrow as well is look at students who are in kind of that middle ground. We do have a lot of interventions for students who have missed a lot, and we have our tier 1 supports, but we're going to be looking at those students who are kind of in that cusp area where they're almost regular attenders, but not quite, to see what we can do to keep them from slipping down into lower attendance and also getting them moved up into being regular attenders. And so we'll have a school-wide initiative led by our attendance team to focus in on some of these students, have conversations, and work with them on their attendance goals as well. All right, so our reading. So as I said, we're doing our STAR reading. We have a lot of different activities that we use to support our goals. So as I mentioned, we're doing STAR. We're measuring in English and Spanish reading to both measure their achievement and also track their progress. We have a reading intervention that started last year. It happens during our advisory period. That number of students in intervention has about doubled this year. So last year we were serving about 45, and this year we're about 100 students who are receiving a reading intervention during the school day. We're using our school-wide reading strategies. The teaching and learning department of the school district has been super helpful in providing some professional learning, as Mr. Lario said, to really pull together as a district to provide services regardless of school. And so we have a lot of professional learning around reading, the conversations around classroom practices, regardless of content area, are around reading, and making sure that we're working together with our AVID team and our regular PD on our PD days to support strategies that are going to grow our reading scores among all students. Our PLC data, oh, sorry. I have just a couple more. I do want to talk about PLCs because PLCs are critical. We have two different PLCs. They're professional learning communities. We, in the past, have been PLCing with Valor. We're PLCing with Valor, and we have our content alike groups that are working together to plan out our units and our projection maps for the year, to integrate our reading strategies into our units and our lessons, and they're sharing ideas and collaborating to increase student data, our achievement through data. We also have a grade level PLC, so grade levels are meeting together to talk about the students they have in common, to find ways that they can support. They're identifying students who are in need and getting them supported there. I think for sake of time, we should probably move on, right? Is that my timer? Yeah. All right, let's move on. So the PD, our staff has been doing great with the PD, but you can see our behavior specific praise at a rate of 6.7 to 1. The goal is 5 opportunities to respond. Those vary quite a bit, but that first week was very high. Second week is lower, but we're still happy to see that students are getting some opportunities to participate in class and respond during instruction. We see a high percentage of student talk time, and our comprehensible input strategy, which again support reading, as all of these do. We were able to see 7 out of 7 classrooms participating in some high leverage practices that are encouraging literacy and communication in the classroom. So attendance goals, I mentioned already that we have some growth to do in attendance. Our team is fantastic. They are aware of where we are at with our data, and we're making steps to move forward and to grow our attendance data. And we're really excited to see where this goes. We do partner with our advisory team, our PBIS team, our leadership groups, both student and staff, to work on our attendance initiatives. And we are going to continue, as I mentioned already, to work on these goals. These are some of the things that we've done to encourage attendance. So Chick-fil-A partnered with the district, but we invited the cow to come to our assembly, and the cow came out, and I don't know, but I feel like everybody's pretty pumped up about the cow. Yeah, and so we hope to have the cow back to help us recognize students and let students know that it's not just their teachers that are nagging about their attendance. It's also like, it's important for the community, and the community is invested in them. We have an assembly there. That's a spirit assembly. You can see Ms. Vasquez, who I recognize. They're covering her ears because we have a spirit contest where you can see which grade level screams the loudest, and they really enjoy that. We have our spirit weeks and the Spartan Challenge, which I mentioned, where students are recognized for reaching attendance goals. We have our youth truth data. We have a lot to really be proud of here. We made growth in all categories among students. And then with our staff, we had really significant growth in all categories. Am I done? But I'll just mention that we had, for example, in growth in our relationships, an increase of 73 percentage points. So our staff has been remarkable, and we're really proud of the work that they do. But they have been really a focus of the work that we've been doing at French Prairie. And so, I mean, the data there, I think, speaks for itself as far as the progress we made with staff. So we appreciate them.
Thank you, Aaron. Does anybody have any questions?
I do, actually. I believe it's going to be in the following slide. If we can go to the next one. Yeah, so in November of 2024, I'm seeing that compared to November 2025, there was a decrease particular around school and safety. Can you just walk us through kind of what went on there and the trends that pushed it that way?
Yeah, so there was a decrease in school safety. I'm not able to speak to what accounts for that difference right now, but I can definitely get you that information and speak to that. But I think for our family data altogether, I would say that we have some work to do. That's data that I did bring to our site council to discuss and talk about what we're seeing in that data and what we're going to do to move that work forward. We had a participation number in that data that we'd like to see to higher and be more representative of our general makeup of our school community. And so as we move forward with measuring this, we will ramp up some efforts to kind of engage with our families and get them to participate in Youth Truth so that we have good data and reliable data. But school safety is something that like Mr. Hotelling works on and is making progress. And if you look at like the staff numbers on their sense of like safety in the building has gone up quite a bit. So I think it's about being consistent and practicing our safe practices like Mr. Hotelling is doing that leadership work in, and then making sure that that's communicated out to families as well, so that we're all on the same page. Because my hope would be is that the staff and the family data would actually be much closer together, so that we'd be understanding what the realities are in the building, and we could be concerned about where we need to be concerned and positive where things are going well.
Is this your first year as principal there?
Yes, this is my first year as principal at French Prairie.
And do you have any percentages for the biliteracy compared to last year? Because there was no percentage.
Not yet. So we will have some data soon for that.
Yeah, we'll be able to share that data at the end of the year with the, that data isn't available right now for the mid-year, but it'll something we'll have at the end of the year to be able to show with the board.
Because kids are still taking tests.
Right there.
For that. And also an opportunity for them to show proficiency is through work samples that they do in class. So teachers will be working on that as we get closer to promotion time.
Anyone else? Well, thank you so much. Awesome.
I was
You
just
have a
gonna,
question? Okay.
yeah, I was just gonna commend you. It looks like you're bringing, it seems like a lot of the growth was with your staff. It seems like you're creating some culture and stability at the school. So I appreciate that and thank you. It shows in the data.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
It also shows I actually said that to one when we visited your professional development, the way your team has come together, it really shows. So you should be really proud.
We have a great team, so I'm really proud of all the staff at French Prairie. I'm really blessed to have Mr. Hotelling to work with, who's been working hard at French Prairie for 4 years. So when I left, he showed up, and now I'm back, and we're a team, a great team, and so yeah, I just feel very lucky to be there and with the staff there. It's a great group of folks.
To jump on the bandwagon, since everybody's commenting on that too. I want to say not only is it like reflecting on the numbers for the staff, but also I really like the collaborative piece, not only with Valor, but even grade wise to try to see what's going on. Because there are some really, obviously the teachers that got recognized, but there's others definitely there that I get to hear from either some students and even some of the parents speak very well about. So that's awesome.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
You have first.
Yeah, I got dibs there. That's why. So I got really close ears with my child.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next, we'll invite up Principal Alfaro and Assistant Principal Garcia from Lincoln Elementary School.
Good evening.
Good
Good evening.
evening.
Everybody. I'm Teresa Alfaro, the principal of Lincoln Elementary.
I'm Alejandra Garcia, the assistant principal.
Oh, gracias. So for this time, we're gonna present, it's gonna be a presentation in 3 main topics, and it's like our goals, how we get our data, and what we're doing with that data. So as you can see here, we have our 3 main goals, which is reading, attendance, and sense of belonging. And we always put the students in the center. So It's like a visual, and I share this data, this information already with my staff, so they already saw this part and they have the input too. So this is part of what we do at our school, and every staff members know like what are three goals, and they can name it. Our first one is our reading goal, and we want at least 25% of the students that will score at grade level or above in the benchmark or star reading. And this is by the CAT, which is the computer adaptive test, and it is compared to the OSAS. So they kind of calibrate it, and it's kind of like the projection, like the expectation, how many students are gonna pass the STAR benchmark. It's kind of like the expectation how many students are going to pass the OSAS, which is the state assessment. And I think you have your paper. Do they have their? Okay, later. Okay. So as you can see here, the projection that we see at the beginning of the year, on grade level, we have 11%, above grade level 5, so the total is 17%. So the mid-year, we have on grade level 14% and above 6%. So you can see our projections. So our hope is like by the end of the year, we have the 25% reach. So that's what we have for and this is for the CAT, the assessment CAT. In the next one, we have the foundational skills, like what we did with the CBMs. And you can see this is our report card, and you can see what we did at the beginning of the year and now in the middle of the year. You can see some adjustment, for example, in fourth grade, the students, 13% passed the English one, and in the middle, at the middle of the year, only on 11%. The reason is because in the first round, students were only taking in the English strand, were taking the English test. In the second round, dual language and English class were taking that test. So there were more students, and students that they're coming with, this is the first year where they have taken full literacy. So that's the little tweak, but you can see progress in most of the classroom, how they're increasing in the reading. And this is the foundational skills. Next one. We also have the attendance. For the school year, we want to increase from 65 to 68% for the regular attendance. By today, the one that you have there is from last week, but today we have 71%. So we're on track. We're doing good, and that's one of our celebrations that we are doing really good in our regular attendance. For daily attendance is 91% usually. So that's what we have. So you can see that's our regular. That was Tuesday, and we were at 70. And today I look at it and we were 71. So we've been doing a lot of activities to encourage attendance in our school. For sense of belonging, there are 4 main questions. One that we were thinking at the beginning of the year that was very important and was coming from last year also, it was to increase the question that says, do I feel important at school? So last year we went to 38 to 50%, and we are hoping that we go from 50 to 55%. So our sense of belonging really increased, but in that question, right now we are 48%. But we are working, and we're gonna see when we review the information, the data, is what is happening. But our sense of belonging is really going up. In all of youth through data is going up. So we can see that it's going up, but that question, we need to work on that question. So what data and activities we did, this is very important because for me, it's important to share this data with everybody. So we start sharing the data with the leadership, with the site council, with the whole Lincoln staff so they understand the data. One thing that I'm gonna start working on is include the student council to review the data and everybody understand, and it gives a little part of what activities are we expecting and how we're gonna do it. So the data that we review was the STAR, that is the reading test, the DESA, that is for the social emotional attendance. Also, we create our own sense of belonging survey at the beginning of the year, and also at the beginning of the year, I have a data that I share with parents, like a survey that I share with parents, like so gain information what they feel about attendance, reading, and sense of belonging. Like it was the data, and that helped us to extract ideas to how to support students in all this area. Also, very important that is happening right now in our school and in the whole district is the instructional leadership and what we're doing with our PD, because it's not just giving the PD, but how we are monitoring that PD. And that one is kind of quickly. So our first one was the classroom expectation. We were 100%, and the behavior specific price was 1-to-1. And we're working, it has to be 5-to-1. Also, we increased in our opportunities to respond after our PD. We were doing good, and we keep doing good. Like, we can see that increase, like, students have more opportunity to respond to our question and the things that we're doing. Also, student to teacher talking also increased, like how we're doing. Also our input, comprehension input, what we're doing. So in those areas, we are improving. The area that we saw that we need to improve more is giving a specific praise to the students, what they do. So for doing that, what we have, I call it the quadrant, and this has all our activities. So after we review our data, our information, after we talk with parents, we talk to staff, we talk to leadership, we see what is important to do and what activities are gonna help us to increase and to support students in the social, emotional, and the academics. So for reading these parts, we have been doing it, looking at the standards of practice. That's one part of our PD small group, focusing on the foundational skills. And you saw that little, the report card that we see. Monthly reports to families, and what we're doing more right now is reading incentives. And Alejandra and I, we switch every other week, and 1 week she goes to one community time and me to the other one, and then we switch, and we give little prizes if we see students reading during gym time. So we go and say, okay, who's reading? Also, we put it in the newsletter, and if they have the reading log, so we put it there. And we have increased, the kids are reading more, and also parents are sharing with us like, oh, my kid wants to read more at home. So they really see the importance of reading. So it's important that they are doing it. For attendance, we also have awards, grade level competitions. The teacher focuses, like they call families to encourage them to come to school. And in the social and emotional is divided in two parts because the DESA is self-management. So we have the calming corners. We continue with daily affirmation, and then the positive thinking is something that is we put in since January, that we are like supporting students, because that part, the question that do I feel important at school? So the positive thinking, like how you feel important at school and feel positive. And also the positive reinforcement, that is like passing the Dolphin tickets, and with our walkthrough data is like reinforcing like 5-to-1. So 5 good behaviors, and if we want to re-engage or reinforce 1, but 5-to-1. So we're working on that one. And that's what we're doing at Lincoln right now. Do you have any
Did you have
questions?
any questions?
On a previous slide, sorry, there was, 85th percentile, was that for just for elementary schools or is that for the district? It was the attendance slide, yeah.
Oh, that's for, just for us.
Just for your,
Yeah, that's just
School?
for school.
no, the previous. One more.
60.
Oh, it's sense of belonging, excuse me.
Yeah,
my
sense of
mistake.
belonging. And sense of belonging is just for a school. And, well, all the schools have through the through data, they have multiple areas, and one of them is sense of belonging. For us, was important to work on that one because at the beginning, last year, it was the lowest one. And from that, the sense of belonging that was the lowest one, the question feeling important was the lowest. So there were 4 questions and this was the lowest. In the other ones, in the other 3 questions, we went up, but in this one, especially, we went down. So we always continue to understand how students feel, what is feeling important in school. And one thing that we noticed when we were talking about the data with the site council, with the leadership, and with the staff is like, we are not reinforcing enough the positiveness. So that's why we're doing that, reinforcing more being positive school.
Would you share that sense of belonging survey with Juan so that I would like to see
Yeah.
what the questions are and stuff like that? And then my other question is, you said 25%, you wanted 25% of all your students, it was on the testing.
Mhm.
So is that 25, how, is that like the entire, everyone being tested, you want 25%?
And that's because it's compared to OSAS, it's
Okay,
3rd to 5th.
okay.
So they have to,
So 3rd to 5th, 25% will either meet or
at
exceed.
least. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Right.
Thank you.
And I have here the question like, do you feel safe at school? Sorry, yeah. Do you feel safe at school? Can you be yourself with other students? Are your students friendly to you? So in all those areas, we went up.
Oh,
Yeah, and the only one that we were down for 2 points was, do you feel like important part of your school?
I want to name 2 things that you mentioned that I absolutely loved. One was you even just kind of made the mention that you had already shared it with staff. This is the 3 goals, that first image about the goals, and that basically everybody there can name if anybody asks. I love that because we're trying to do a similar approach where we have kind of talking points we're going away with. So I me encanta. The other thing was for the sense of belonging and how you're trying to improve on that. You had made a comment on you're involving basically the whole school, from like the leaders in your school, but also the student leadership as well. And I think that is absolutely awesome to hear. I'm also kind of curious, considering that, you know, this is also like smaller students too, and I feel important, like they're maybe associating it in a different way, where maybe they think like, I don't know, alguien grandioso, where it's like, oh yeah, I'm not that yet, you know? Because for it being like the one question that got scored lowest, like just the questions that come to my head in that regard, but otherwise that's what I wanted to share.
And I love that you involved everybody too, and I'm excited that you have a student council at that
Yeah.
level. That was very exciting, and to see one of your members here was.
And just to jump a little bit on that, we have our college and career, and the mayor was there. And I talked to the kids, I said, okay, you're gonna go to each table and you have to introduce yourself and ask if they need any help. They were supreme. Like the mayor was so impressed, and student council really works really hard, and you're gonna meet them on Thursday. They have good questions, and they have our logo is swim. So what the I is for, I inspire, and I'm a leader. So it's like our goal is like all our kids are leaders in this community.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank
Great
you.
report. Right, now it's time for operations reports. I'd like to call the business office up, Sarah Bishop, to give her report.
Good evening, Sarah.
Bringing my water with me.
Uh-oh, Sarah's got a cold.
I am. I do have a cold, so bear with me. My ears are also really plugged, so if I ask you to repeat yourself, I apologize. So you have your normal financial report in front of you. We did add the narrative portion this month to the report to kind of talk about what's going on in school finance in Woodburn. So that is a new addition. Sorry, I apologize. I wanted to let you guys know that we have our upcoming budget training and listening session. The survey for that will be going out shortly, so please look for that and please take some time to fill it out. It'll also be going to our budget committee members so they can fill it out as well, so we can have some talking points for the meeting. Obviously, if something comes up after that, we'll be happy to discuss it at the meeting. So please don't feel like if it wasn't in the survey, you can't bring it up then. So there's that. So I had received some questions from the superintendent about other components of the financial report, such as the cash flow and a balance sheet. So I kind of wanted to talk through that in the realm of school finance. Cash flows is very important in private business, and it's something you look at a lot. School finance is a little different because we operate on a more cyclical cycle, and our revenue and expenses are extremely predictable. So I kind of want to talk about how you guys already have that. So bear with me if I'm not making sense. If you don't mind, board chair, if you could stop and ask questions, please. So for cash flow, pretty straightforward. So if you look at your financial report, look at the revenue side. So beginning cash is beginning fund balance. So that's the 15.304 million number on page number 21. So that is beginning cash for the year. You have two cash inflow numbers. You have the actual revenue to date, and then you have the projected revenue. So those are all your cash inflows for the year. Okay. Your cash outflows for the year are going to be listed on your expense page. So the current cash outflows is going to be on page 24 in the actual year-to-date expenditures. The projected through 6/30 is what will be expended through the end of the year. So if you want to predict what the ending cash should be at the end of the year, you also have that on page number 21, which is the estimated ending fund balance of the 11.9 million. So you have those numbers for cash flow. If you came to me and said, Sarah, where do I find what we have cash right now? Well, obviously it's changed since I've submitted this report, but as of the date of this report, you would look at the actual revenue received. So the $77,717,780 minus the actual year-to-date expenditures of the 42.75 million. And that would give you current cash on hand.
Can you repeat those numbers again? I'm just trying to
Yes.
find them on this
Yeah,
spreadsheet.
We don't have page numbers, so.
Oh, yeah,
Page
you can pull
21,
it up.
yeah,
That would be
page
great.
21, yeah. Page 21, and then it was a second column.
So page 21 and page number 24 are going to be in 21, this sheet.
But just when you were calling out those numbers, I just couldn't
Oh,
Same.
yeah,
find them as you're calling them out, so I wasn't sure where you were looking.
yeah, absolutely.
Sorry about
Let's pull them up and then we can look at them in real time. That's great. No, that's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm looking at the PDF and it's like.
I'm going to screen share. if I take them out? All right, is that a little easier to see? Okay. I'll even zoom it in.
Oh, thank you.
I know my
Visual
eyesight's
diagram.
not that great. I don't know about the rest of you. Okay, so beginning fund balance is right here, the 15.34 million.
Okay, thank you.
And that's beginning cash, if you may. Okay. So again, when we're looking at cash flows, we're looking at actual revenue received. So the actual year-to-date revenue, okay, which is the 77.7 million that we have. Okay. Then, try not to get seasick. The actual year-to-date expenditures is money that's truly gone out the door. So in terms of cash flow again, is the 42.75 million. So current cash would be the revenue year-to-date, the 77.7, less the 42.751 million. So we have on hand right now about $34.9 million in cash. Okay. If you want to say, where are we going to be at the end of the year? Again, we'd go back here to the revenue. Try not to get seasick, sorry. We are projecting to have $1.2 million, or not 1.2,
Say, wait a minute.
$102 million in revenue for the year. And so that's cash inflow, less our estimated money going out. So that's our actual expenditures, plus our predicted expenditures. So at the end of the year, we're estimated to have $11.9 million on hand, which is a decrease of 3.39 million over beginning cash. So beginning fund balance and ending fund balance is essentially synonymous with cash on hand.
So is the 11.9, is that typically where we would be at the end of the year? Is it?
It's lower than we've been in the last several years.
I was thinking, yeah.
It's still within the board policy.
3.4 seems a lot like in a single year.
It is, it's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the last couple of years, we've worked really hard on doing some right sizing within the district. So if you look at the change in fund balance in the prior year, it was very minimal. Again, that resulted in a higher ending fund balance. This is a little above what the board policy is. So we're kind of at that precipice now of, yes, it is going down. We do have some transfers into things like major maintenance and athletic reserve. But this is putting us closer to where we should be. So yeah, we are going to have to look at some costs going into next year to be able to reduce.
Does this also include like the roof repair and the high school and?
No, that all comes out of major maintenance. So if you go to your budget document, you see that in the 400 funds. This is just kind of our general operating, it's general fund, but this is where the vast majority of our expenditures lie. So again, cash flow is a little different in a school district, but this is the cash flow revenue and expenses here. There's also some questions about a balance sheet and what that would look like. So again, school district finance is very complex, but it's also quite simple. So the balance sheet is our assets, our cash is actual year-to-date revenue minus expenditures is cash on hand. So cash is the 77.7 million minus the actual year-to-date expenditures of 42.751. So like the number we talked about just a minute ago, actual cash on hand is 34.9 million. We have accounts receivable, theoretically, another balance sheet component of 24.97 million, which is the projected revenue, right? We're projecting we're going to receive that revenue. Accounts payable, another balance sheet component, is the projected expenses through the end of the year of 48 million. The last component of the balance sheet would be reserve, essentially is what you'd hear in business. of 11.9 million. So all those components that you would typically see in a business's financial statements are all here. It's all represented here in these statements.
Any other questions?
I guess we're going into budgets, season soon. What top of line, things should we be aware of, going into that?
Into budget season. Always the state school fund. We look at enrollment. That's a big one because obviously that drives state school fund. We want to be really cognizant of staffing costs and staffing allocations. So obviously if we have a student count dip at a building, we need to address that by updating the number of staffing there. Or if we have a student number increase, we obviously want to be able to support that way as well. Those are kind of the biggest ones. Staffing is almost 80% of our general fund budget. So that's, again, the costs that we're always looking the closest at. We can't say, don't buy a pallet of paper for the year. That's going to save us $500. That really makes little to no impact in the grand scheme of things. So staffing is our biggest expense and the one we watch the closest.
Does that also include the substitutes?
Substitute is a component. So substitutes, okay, now I'm getting into a long-winded explanation, so sorry. Substitutes, yes, it is a huge expense of the district. It's several $1 million.
Sorry, time's up.
Okay. Substitutes, though, you don't really see them reflected here because they're paid for at the ESD level. But what that means is the ESD receives a portion of our revenue on our behalf. So it automatically goes to them for us to be able to purchase services directly from them. So they get an allotment and we say, we want to allocate X amount of our dollars, these are our dollars, to substitute services. So it goes to them and they pay the substitute bill. So you never generally see it on our financial statements because the revenue goes directly to them and they retain it. If there's money left over, they send it to us the following year when they reconcile. If we owe them money because say we overexpend in our subcategory, we have to pay them that money. But it's a portion of our state school fund.
And the board will find enrollment information in the board packet as well, beginning on page 26. And you can see that the enrollment is slightly higher, but pretty flat.
Thank you for that information. I appreciate that. Any other questions? It may be that at some point we might need like another budget 101 or as part of our retreat, maybe for next year, we have
gonna
a
be
budgeting component
next
of it.
month.
Yeah. No, but I mean, just
We
like
talked about
reading
that for the retreat. And
reading the documents and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, the monthly financial review is a little different than the budget presentation. You guys have a little different questions and insight when you're looking more at the operations piece. The overall budget is huge and there's a lot that goes into it. But there's a lot of detail in there that's not necessarily super helpful when you're reviewing the month-to-month data. You guys are looking at a more granular level of data. But yes, there'll be a lot of information thrown at you.
Well, you better get your voice back. Then.
I'm hoping I will. Yeah, I won't talk the rest of the week. I'm sure Juan will appreciate that.
but plenty of cough drops for you.
Yeah.
No talking for her, Juan. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director Bishop.
All right, the next item on our agenda are confirmation items presented as follows. Meeting minutes of January 13th, 2026 special board meeting and January 27th, 2026 regular board meeting. Personnel, surplus property disposal report, acceptance of gifts and donations, and funding proposals and applications, which looks like it's not applicable. Do we have any questions? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adopt the confirmation items as presented.
I move to approve the confirmation items as presented.
Is there a second?
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the confirmation items as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Next on the agenda, we have board action items, which include new business, and we do have some new business tonight. And the first would be Classified Appreciation Week resolution.
Yeah, so in your board packet, you'll find a Classified Appreciation Week resolution. Classified Appreciation Week begins next week, March 2nd, and it runs through Friday, March 6th. And it's an opportunity for us to lift up and celebrate and recognize all the contributions and work being done by our classified staff. Our classified staff includes, but isn't limited to, our secretaries, educational assistants, nutrition services, maintenance. They do so much to be able to continue to put our mission together, both little things and big things, in front of people, behind the scenes. All their contributions are invaluable. So we want to be able to celebrate them this next week and make this really public and give them some kudos and praise. And I'll give Chair Ballweber an opportunity to read the resolution into the record.
It's my pleasure to read resolution number 26-000 in honor of Classified Appreciation Week, March 2nd through March 6th. Whereas the mission of the Woodburn School District is to ensure every student graduates prepared for college, career, and life through inclusive, equitable, and high-quality learning experiences. And whereas the education and well-being of students are essential to the future of our community, state, nation, and world. And whereas classified employees are essential to the daily success of the Woodburn School District and play a critical role in advancing the district's mission and strategic goals. And whereas classified employees serve students, families, educators, and the community through vital roles that support instruction, student services, nutrition, transportation, safety, facilities, technology, and district operations. And whereas classified employees are often the first point of contact for students and families and help build trust, belonging, and strong relationships across Woodburn's diverse and multilingual community. And whereas through their professionalism, dedication, and care, classified employees help create safe, welcoming, and supportive learning environments where students can thrive. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Woodburn School District Board of Directors hereby proclaims March 2nd through March 6th, 2026 as Classified Employee Appreciation Week in the Woodburn School District. And be it further resolved that the Board of Directors expresses its sincere appreciation to all classified employees for their invaluable contributions to student success and school excellence. And be it further resolved that the board encourages students, families, staff, and community members to join in recognizing and celebrating the dedication and hard work of Woodburn School District's classified employees.
I move to adopt resolution number 26-000, Classified Appreciation Week as presented.
Is there a second?
I second that.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution number 26-000, Classified Appreciation Week, as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Happy Classified Appreciation Week next week, everyone.
Yeah.
Truly appreciated. Next on our agenda, we have the Budget Committee vacancy interviews. Before I invite our candidates up to the board needs to decide what interview process we would like to proceed with.
Board Chair?
Yeah.
Sorry for the interruption. Just during our meeting, I got an email from one of the candidates and he is withdrawing his application. So now you're down to one candidate.
So I guess that makes the decision very easy. then. So in that case, can we invite her up?
Yes, you can, of course.
Natalia, would you like to come up here? Hello, this is Natalia Fistova, and she is our applicant for Budget Committee. Since we don't really have any, do we go ahead with the interview or we can just ask questions or you can ask us questions?
It's really up to the board how they want to decide. If you do ask questions, I would
Stick to these?
I would recommend you stick to the questions.
Okay. So do you guys want to, or?
Yeah, I would like to learn more about you.
Okay, all right.
Sure.
So we will do it in round robin fashion, and I will ask the first question, then Michael, then so on. So Natalia, why are you interested in serving on the budget committee?
So I do have 4 kids in the district. They range from elementary, middle, and high school. So I used to actually work for the district, and now that I no longer do, I'm able to serve on a committee because I wasn't able to before. So that's kind of the reason.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your experience with our schools?
Sure. So I actually have my teaching degree, and I went, I was subbing in the district, and then I worked as a parent involvement specialist. So I have worked with families, I have worked with the kids, I worked in elementary, I worked in middle school, have not worked in high school. Yeah, I worked pretty much in a lot of the schools.
Rosie?
What do you see as the 3 most critical issues facing the Woodburn School District today? Did we skip number 3? No. I did. Oh, okay. Okay. I
But,
think.
oh, we need to stick
Okay.
with the script.
What is your experience with budgeting and budget development? So when, I don't remember how long it was ago, but when we had the other superintendent, there was a 5-year plan, like, committee, and we had looked at what the district goals would be and kind of trying to decide what the focus for the budget should be. And so I was part of that committee where we had been kind of looking at whether we wanted to open like a preschool building. I don't know if you guys remember that. And then focusing on like which school projects to focus on, like air conditioning, roof, a new roof for French Prairie. I remember that was one of the issues. So that was kind of like the experience that I had with budgets and goals. Yeah.
Thank you. What do you see as the 3 most critical issues facing the Woodburn School District today?
So one of them, I think, is the fact that our district is growing. We have a lot of like new developments popping up, and I kind of wonder, I don't know if the school boundaries have been rewritten or not, but I think that that's one of the things that we kind of have to look at, because a lot of the new developments are focused in one area of town, and I kind of wonder how that impacts enrollment and into which schools. So I wonder if that might be something that needs to be addressed. Another issue is, of course, that the contract was passed where teachers got a raise and all of that. And so obviously that's dipped into the budget. And I think that's going to be an issue that needs to be addressed also, to see what needs to be downsized and where without affecting students. So that's another issue. And a third issue, I don't know. I don't, that's my answer. I don't know.
Ryan?
Is there anything you would like to ask the board or anything else you'd like to add?
No, not really.
So I will now open the floor. I guess we still discuss. I will now open the floor to discuss the candidate that we just interviewed. So we'll take a little bit of time, give everybody an opportunity if they have anything they want to say.
Well, I think you'd be an asset to the community and to the committee.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Your experience in the school definitely brings a unique lens that we need in the community.
Well, your perspective from many different angles, parents, staff, as well as a community member, and all the pros, the cons, and the difficulties that pertain to the district. So that is quite like beneficial.
I think you'd be a wonderful asset to it. So I kudo to like everything they say, I would ditto on. So yeah, I think like your experience working in the district, the fact that you're a parent,
The fact that I
I've
went
been
to
see
school
you
here,
watching your
actually.
kids play
Mhm.
basketball and
Yes.
supporting that. So I know that you're an involved parent, so I think that can only be helpful in this. So do I have a motion to appoint a candidate for the Budget Committee? Position 2.
I make a motion to appoint Natalia to the Budget Committee member, position 2. Need to get your last name right, sorry.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to appoint Natalia Fiuktisteva to, is it, or Fiuktista? Okay. To, as a Budget Committee member for position 2. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Congratulations.
Oh, yes.
And we will see you on Tuesday. All right, so next on the, we have future agenda items. Does anyone have any suggestions for future agenda items?
Well, we do have kind of conflict this Thursday. There's the high school career attendance for the students and parents. And then we have the bargaining meeting at the same time. And of course, I have an upcoming junior. So, I don't know. If, well, that's a conflict for me, basically.
Mhm. I don't think that. I'm not sure that would really be,
No, it
you
wouldn't
just
be
want
a
to share
conflict.
that?
I
Yeah,
was just sharing.
sharing it, okay. Anyone else? All right, so at this time, we're going to move on and review and discuss the new community engagement worksheet. This tool was presented to us at the last work session to help us decide what we will share with the community when opportunities to engage arise. So,
I'll share a couple documents with the board.
Okay.
These were created by the French Prairie and Lincoln administrators, similar to what we saw at the last month from Valor and from Heritage, that were helpful to provide a little bit of some concise talking points for schools. If that might be of help. Appreciate that.
Anybody get a copy of the community? It was part of our packet email.
It's fine. I can write a separate paper. Thank you, though.
so is there, anything that we want to, I know we had volunteering and we had our 2 schools that came last time that we definitely specifically asked for these so that we could share this information. And I think we also had the budget committee, which that one will come off, but we also had our high school student reps was part of what was on our things to discuss in the engagement. So like budget committee is off, so do we want to change any of those? Do we want to add anything for talking points if we engage with the community in the next month?
What is the timeline for a student rep?
They have to have their application in by April 15th. And then after that, we will be interviewing and they will be appointed by,
Maybe just the timeline, as a talking
okay,
point.
as a
yeah.
talking point.
Okay, at least for me.
Yeah, good point.
Did you get any applicants?
And April's the deadline for submitting the application?
Mhm.
Okay.
So right now, the application form is open and they are due April 15th, correct?
Texting.
And this is for current sophomores or juniors. And And you have not received any applications.
I know OBOB competition's coming up, but I don't know. I guess if anybody wants to support schools, although they're in different locations. OBOB, Oregon Battle of the Books. I believe elementary is going to, oh goodness. I know the name of it. It's west from here.
A lot west
Yeah.
there.
You guys see, and then the high school one is in Silverton High School on March 7th.
Juan, do you have any thoughts? Anything up and coming that we might want to share?
Be aware of. Give the dates and, okay.
Since these go for a month, we do have the STEM Festival also taking place March 12th.
And did the time, was that the one the time got changed on?
No,
That's
it's
the other one, okay.
six. It's in April.
Okay. Okay. And the STEM Festival is held at which building?
It's
Nellie?
Is the Valor Winter Concert happening that same day too?
Oh, the STEM Festival?
Yeah,
I already passed it.
I don't remember now. I saved a bunch of dates in the beginning of the year, and that's how I know there's up to 3 events sometimes happening.
It is on the district calendar, so we'll check.
All right.
Well, we'll also be visiting on Thursday, French Prairie and Lincoln. So in addition to, what we have here, we'll be able to share like what we experience when we go there. Because it sounds like at Lincoln we might be interviewed by their student council. So that'll be very fun. And I don't know what Aaron's got in store for us, but I'm sure it's something special. So any other thoughts?
Classified Appreciation Week.
Yes, yes. For sure.
Is there events that are incorporated with that as well?
Yeah, each school will have a variety of different activities and things that they're going to be doing to celebrate and recognize their staff. We'll be visiting schools and dropping off some items of appreciation as well for all classified employees in the district, not just schools, but all work sites.
Yes. Anything else about community engagement? Okay, and move on to the board calendar. The following are our upcoming board meetings. On February 26th, we have our visits at Lincoln and French Prairie Middle School at 11 and 1, and we will start at Lincoln. On March 3rd, we have the Budget Committee Training and Listening Session at 5:45 p.m. On March 10th, we have the regular board meeting at 5:45 p.m. And on March 12th, we have Success and Woodburn High School visits at 11 a.m. So thank you, everyone, for your time this evening. With no other agenda items listed, I move to adjourn the meeting at 7:26 p.m.
I just remembered McMinnville is where the elementary ones are doing it. It took me, I know you're